Pistons got 3 games left, and if they can win these 3 games, they can get to 60 wins, which I believe is a hellified accomplishment. But thing is, if Cade, who is returning tonight, as I'm doing this video, versus the Milwaukee Bucks, can play the last 3 games, he would have played 64 games this season. And possibly they're saying that they can apply for a 1-game exemption where he'll be eligible for regular season awards, which at this point he won't get the MVP, even though the race is seeming kind of bland, and not that Jaylen Brown or SGA are not having fantastic years. It's because you had Anthony Edwards fall out the race with a knee injury that's pretty concerning, I read. Also, you had Cade falling out the race. So it's not as, flamboyant or as appetizing as it originally looked. So, but he can still be all NBA. That's always a thing to have, is all NBA under your belt. Hopefully so. He had legit injury. He had legit issues going on. So I hope they can clear that up for him. He can play these 3 games, which I'm gonna get to it. You got people saying you should rest him, and people don't understand how. You'll be surprised how many people don't really understand how the human body works. They don't understand it, bro. It's similar to how vehicles and other machinery works, but yeah, play them tonight. See what happens. But at the end of the day, a rule is a rule. And keep in my mind, I keep calling this dude Adam Scheffner, but Adam Silver's already have a reputation for being more lenient and being softer than David Stern, who was more stern, and more vicious. But also we are in a different era. Respectfully, we are. But if Cade can play these 3 games, how his body responds, how he responds to the abuse and just all the contact, we'll see. I think Isaiah Stewart is got to get in the mix as well too. You don't want to just go straight from, on the bench doing basketball activities, doing conditioning drills, to then straight going 0 to 1,000. Remember LeBron last year had the comments about playoff basketball when he said that they should get a month off of playoff basketball because the intensity is so much. And the intensity does go up. Now, it's not the same basketball that I grew up on or some of the older guys grew up on in the 80s. It's not the same. It's not as physically demanding. They don't play with the same hunger that they used to play with. But at the same time, it is a jump in intensity, especially for your key players, because guess what? Every other night or every night and 2 nights, 2 out of 3 nights, they looking to stop you. So the game plan is to stop you. So the intensity is a lot. And the actual body to go basically from going through the motions and trying to mimic basketball activities and conditioning and go out there and play, it's totally 2 different things. Totally 2 different things. Even if you running you get a guy who used to running marathons, but you put him on the basketball court and you ask him to run those intervals in spurts, it's going to challenge his conditioning. You see videos, like it was a particular video where it was a guy who, these bodybuilders, they were, now you want to speed up, man. No, don't speed your bitch ass up now. You be killing me with that shit. These bodybuilders were struggling carrying the cement. And people say, see, the muscles are, no, it's just the fact that the guy that was smaller, he does that for a living. The body adapts to the environment that it's used to. So for people kind of saying that, well, they shouldn't play Cade. They shouldn't play Cade. Wait to the playoffs. You can basically say, I'm not gonna start my box Chevy or my SS Monte Carlo all winter, and just say we're gonna crank it up and put it in a race. Like, hell no, you're going to change the oil, probably cipher that old gas the fuck up out of there. You're going to have to test drive it, you know what I'm saying? Check, all that. And that's the equivalent of that, bro. Yeah, you might have started it a couple times during the winter, but you can't expect to go from 0 to, and be ready. So the body, you got to mimic that. You can't expect him to go into the most intense basketball of the season so far from 0 to a million. Like, nah, he got to get used to how my body gonna feel after the next game. His body has to kind of, get used to it again. And if he able to take the beating and the abuse and then get used to it, those 3 games is gonna be vital for him. He'd get back into shape very quick. Them 3 games gonna be enough to get him back into basketball shape. Like, the body is already prepared for basketball shape. It's already there. It's already done. It's just that you took some time off. Now you just gotta trust your conditioning. Sometimes when you take an extended leave off, in your mind you think that I'm gonna lose it all. Sometimes the muscles grow, and with that rest, your conditioning get better. So he might even come back. Obviously, most people figure that he'd come back fresher. But if his body is good, he's gonna have some legs under him. He's gonna be a little bit more fresher. He's gonna be fresher. And with these 3 games and probably some practices, he gonna have his legs up under him. So that's what you want. You don't want to put him in a situation where he is 0 to 1,000. You want to be able to build up in those situations to get them properly prepared, and see how the body is going to react from night to night. See how, we not in a control situation where I'm controlling, we stopping, I'm controlling it through a controlled environment. I'm controlling, suicides. I'm controlling the drills. Now, you allowing, the Milwaukee Bucks to control what's going on. Your teammates to control the pace. Where my legs at? Do I need a break? All right. My confidence is out there. When I go to the rack, can I take the contact? When I get, kind of bumped from the back, how do that collapsed lung feel? So there's some trauma, that he got to get over, or some, a little bit of, hurdles that he got to get over with, and see how he feels when he comes back. So you didn't want to just say let him rest and throw him into the most intense game of the season, the playoffs. No. You want him to get these 3 games in. You want Stu to get these 3 games in if you can, so y'all can have a rhythm going into the playoffs. So hit the link in the description. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Everything inside the link tree. The link tree is the first link in the description. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Appreciate the love and support. All the love I'm getting in the comment section. I see y'all. Peace.